All right, good afternoon. And so right now we're going to talk about Druski's viral skit about conservative women and how a lot of people are reacting to this situation. Some people are laughing at it, some people are calling too far. And I even seen a few people calling it whiteface, which whiteface is not a thing. And before we continue, I just want to ask one quick question. In what historical context has quote unquote white faces ever hurt, harm, degrade a group of people, such as Caucasian or white people in general? It's not a thing. I cannot think of one. It doesn't exist. However, though, when it comes to Drewski skit and when it comes to comedy in general, there's normally a rule of thumb that that's the exception. They're able to talk about things that most people are not able to and express themselves at the times that we are in right now. So when Drewski talked about the conservative woman and how she behaves, it is pretty spot on. And it's just a very unfortunate thing. It seems like a lot of people have associated this with Erica Kirk. Now, when it comes to the whole entire Erica Kirk thing, I have seen a lot of people putting up fake tweets, at least in my opinion. And the reason I say they are fake tweets is because whenever I have gone to her Facebook, no, excuse me, not her Facebook, her Instagram or X account, I didn't see none of those tweets that people are pushing out. And the same thing with Druski also. Now, maybe I overlooked them. I'm going to go to their pages and we can look at them together. With X in general, you got to be kind of careful navigating through that site just because it's just kind of like the wild, wild west of the internet. You see so much stuff that really shouldn't be on there. I'm surprised the site is still up at this point. But let's start with a few people that made a similar reactions and critiques of Erica Kirk before the Juicy skit actually came out. Here we go.
Because nobody admits anything that.
Now, Miss Lysandra is great. She is so funny. You should definitely check out her TikTok page. It's right there in the top right-hand corner, or I guess left-hand corner, depending where you're looking at. It's on my right-hand side. And she has made plenty of skits about Erica Kirk that it's just hilarious. But the thing about it is, though, when it comes to her, she actually made a comment talking about how her page was getting striked and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not going to dive too deep into that right now because that's not what this topic of the video is. But let's go ahead and continue.
Do not let anyone disenfranchise you, especially if you're a young, hot, white mailman. What you do matters. When you walk up that driveway in your little shorts and you confidently place that package down, that's important work. It's important to me.
Get on your.
And now it's Miss Laura. Miss Laura has been in the comedy game for a very long time too. I still remember when she made her Pamela Pumpkin skits, and she was part of this web series where she was trying to be a model, but the model was kind of slow in the head. But she's always been kind of funny. But she has an interesting story of herself, of things she's going through with her. I can't remember if they were actually husband and wife, or that was just her baby daddy. But again, check out her channel too. She's pretty funny also. Especially her Pamela Pumpkin skits, the old ones. The old ones were hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing at them. And now we're going to get into the Druski situation, the skit that has everybody talking on the internet right now.
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
How about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
Now I had to pause that part right there because I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted music, and I'm not trying to get struck. I might just try to skip past that part. Let's see. You fast forward a little bit more. You can see the images if you're looking. All right, let's stop right here.
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. We are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Now, I did have a bunch of clips of Erica Kirk where she was doing very similar things. I just didn't feel like putting them in here, mainly because I really don't care that much for the woman. And whenever I hear her talk and I see her eyes, it always creeps me out. I mean, it's just not just her. It's just people with really deep blue eyes in general just kind of creep me out. I just can't talk to them. I can talk to people with green, hazel color eyes, you know, whatever. Even red eyes. I came across a man with red eyes before. It was kind of weird. But I don't know what it is about the blue. The blue eyes always kind of freak me out. Just like when Druski was doing that skit, it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. And
Hey, if you're watching right now, thank you very much. Comment and subscribe. I appreciate you.
Pop cup. Yes, everything organic. We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America.
Now, this part I found pretty interesting because this reminds me more of the Caroline Levitt situation. Whenever she was at the podium, or not at the podium, she was standing right next to a black security guard, and she was kind of making it very awkward for some reason. Like, why is that black man so close to me?
Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes, because they are the ones who matter most.
All right, so that's it for there. So I found it hilarious. I truly enjoyed it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. He didn't say anything mean. If anything, all he did was take existing clips, video and audio, and made a skit out of it. He just did a reflection. And it wasn't any stereotypes. It was just a straight reflection of how conservative women have been behaving lately. I mean, you can go as far as that woman in Texas, I can think of her name right now, who is Hispanic, who is a heavy ICE supporter. It just keeps going on and on. With that being said, though, what really did surprise me is that there were two conservative black men that, typically speaking, side with the extreme MAGA Republican side of things, right? Officer Tatum and Ross Smith. Ross Smith in particular has surprised me a lot lately because he has been very outspoken about the war that's going on right now. He's been asking the questions, who is the war benefiting? Why are we going over there, etc. So even though me and him differ greatly on political stances and things of that nature, I can respect a man that thinks independently enough to be like, okay, well, this is kind of funny. Well, let's go ahead and see what he had to say about it. Give me one moment.
So you know the funny thing about that Druski skit is that if Erica Kirk and Team TPUSA had just kind of shown a little cheeky humor about it, like if Erica Kirk had tweeted or posted from our X account, had literally quote tweeted the video and then said something like, oh, you know how I love my sparklers, ha ha ha, laugh, 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 it would have deflated the entire situation with humor. And then everybody kind of would have just laughed and moved on.
But you know, truthfully, if I'm being honest, I haven't seen a response from Erica Kirk at all. If anything, it's been all her supporters speaking for her. Again, when I went to her Instagram, her X account, I didn't see her mention Druski at all. So I'm not sure where all this is coming from when people are saying that she reacted horribly. Now, I can imagine behind closed doors, she is acting horribly. I can imagine she probably has made complaints to people personally behind the scenes, but I haven't seen her herself make a public statement. That's not me sticking up for her. I just want to see facts when it comes to this stuff. And I haven't found a fact at all. I mean, it's so easy to make a fake tweet or Instagram posts. But when you go to their pages, you don't see anything. It's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to take a stranger. I'm going to try to see it from the horse's mouth. And she really hasn't shied away from saying things that she thought and felt before.
But since that didn't happen, now you've got this is disgusting. It's disgusting. You've got Ted Cruz talking about, well, this is just abominable. And everybody just looks so completely absurd and ridiculous and so joyless and so humorless. And so the problem with the space right now, and the problem, the reason why none of this is cool anymore, is because it went from a countercultural thing that was cool and was interesting to something that is just humorless and joyless. And now Ted Cruz has to stand in line, and now everybody...
Ted Cruz is the biggest mistake in political history, in my opinion. I don't understand. I don't understand how he's still in office. I don't understand how the people in Texas keep re-electing a man that abandons them whenever a natural disaster happens. I mean, he literally takes his family on vacation every single time.
Body has to say that this is racist, when like 5 years ago everybody would have just laughed because it's a legitimately funny skit. So I don't know, like, where's the humor anymore?
Did Druski...
Now, before we get into Officer Tatum, I will say, where did the humor go? The humor went away with Trump. And what I mean by that, when Trump was coming up, he used to want to be on Saturday Night Live. He used to want to be around black people and black circles. And Trump was trying to be a very entertaining man. I still remember at one time when he was on Saturday Night Live, he was like, yeah, you could talk about anything you want when it comes to me, with the exception of my money. That was the one touchy subject for him that he didn't want the people from Saturday Night Live to make fun of or talk about when it comes to Trump or himself. Today now, if you say anything bad about Trump or people who are associated near him, it's an all-out war. So that's what I mean by, where did the humor go? It went away with Trump. When Trump came into office, it's like the humor just got sucked out. People don't know how to laugh. But part of the reason Trump became so popular because of humor. Does that make any sense?
Go too far. Now, I'm going to say something that some people are not going to like, and some of y'all are going to respect the fact that I keep it real all the time. I'm going to say this. I've been watching Druski stuff for a very long time. I think Druski is an incredible comedian. I think he's hilarious. I think he has a great talent and ability. I really do.
And sometimes when I hear some of the stuff that Officer Tatum says, in my core, I really don't think he believes that 100%. I truly do believe that it's more of a grift for him. And that he's so far deep into it, he can't get out of it. That's just my opinion of it.
Druski makes fun of everybody. Nobody's off limits. He makes fun of people, and I laugh at every time he makes fun of people because it's funny, it's comedy. I think objectively, what he did in this skit is funny. It just simply is. He made fun of it or whatever it can be. But the difference is that when you sit back and you look at who he made fun of and the circumstances surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination, it makes it disgusting. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I was close to Charlie and close to Erica, and I care about this topic, for me to go, oh, now all of a sudden I want Druski to be canceled. Because I didn't mind laughing at when he made fun of the pastors. I didn't mind laughing when he made fun of white hillbillies at Talladega. I didn't mind when it wasn't close to me. So I also can't think he should be canceled because it's somebody I know. But I will say the reason that I will not post this, I will not support this Druski content, is because I think it's incredibly insensitive.
Now, he said he won't post it, but he did do a full reaction of the skit. So in a way, he did post it. Now, with that being said, who was he closer to, Charlie or Erica? And I'm not going to get too far deep into that statement because as far as I remember, Charlie and Erica was not together for that long. And just just from the outside looking in, by the way she's been acting and the things that's been coming out, especially when it comes to Candace Owens and all these investigators and things coming out, it kind of seems like Erica and Charlie was kind of on the outs. And that's why she's acting the way she is. I'm not saying she's not hurt. Anytime you have a kid with somebody, I would imagine, especially if you were still married to them, you're going to care that they're gone, right? I'm not going to get into any conspiracies out there right now. I'm just going to say that let's just believe everything's happened as presented to us, that he was taken out of this world and she is a widow, right? I would imagine that even though they were planning to split up, she would still care. But if he was as close as Charlie as he said he was, why we have this mindset? You know what I mean? I would think you would support the man that helped gave you the opportunity and the platform to grow compared to the woman that has a lot of allegations out about her right now. That's just my opinion on it.
I don't blame him for a certain part of it because he don't know Charlie and he don't, like, that's not, he's not in that world. But I will say that I do think it's insensitive. And if I could have talked to Druski before he made this, I say, look, man, you need to not do this one. You need to not do it because the way that Charlie was murdered and assassinated makes this look really disgusting. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to play a little bit of it because I don't want to play the whole thing because it's hard for me to watch knowing these people in this situation. But if you haven't seen it, I'll play a little bit of it so you can see kind of where the frustration comes in at. Roll the clip.
Get on your feet, boy!
And you see right here at this very moment right here, he's already smiling. And that doesn't look like a, you know how sometimes whenever you get really annoyed, you may smile because you're getting ready to say something slick, something aggressive, or you may do something physical to an individual. That's not that kind of smile. He genuinely finds this funny.
War is raging in Iran.
And you see right here, I think he's catching himself and he's trying to adjust his face to be more appropriate for the moment. That's why I'm saying I really do think a lot of the time when it comes to Officer Tatum, that a lot of stuff is a grift. Now, I understand being a police officer, you see a lot of stuff. And whenever you're around a bunch of people who have certain views, those views kind of attach and leash on to you. But I don't think he's as close as he claims to be with Erica. I think he's just trying to keep his base happy.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
How about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the oh.
All right, that's enough. So if you got a sense of humor, there's certain humorous things about that. I don't know if humorous is the right word, but there's certain things about that that's inherently hilarious because of the way, because you know that that's true.
Well, that's all I got to say about this one. If you're watching or came this far, go ahead and consider subscribing. I appreciate it. I'm going to do another video here soon. I'm going to work on. I got some things got to take care of first. But like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.